Hi guys, and welcome to Paul's DIY. I'm just coming off the back of finishing off the 12-inch Star-Lord figurine that you can see there, and now I'm moving on to the 12-inch Wolverine figurine. And as you can already tell, I've cut the head off there, and I've been waiting on this to do this figure for a while because I've been waiting on a custom Logan head, Hugh Jackman Logan head, which is here. I bought this from eBay and it's come from China, and the detail on this is fantastic. Let's zoom, there you go. So what I'm currently doing now is I'm repositioning the arms. So as you can see there, I've pulled the arms out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something similar to what I did with the 18-inch armoured Batman. I'm going to stick bits of plastic in there so it stays pointing outwards like so, and then put some hot glue in there. Unfortunately, when I was pulling the other one out, it snapped, but it's not too much of a problem because, like I say, I'm going to hot glue it back on. But what I'm currently working on now, position the light better, I've been mixing several different Liquitex Basics acrylic paints, as well as some Kislev Flesh tone paint. I've been mixing it together to try and match it as close as possible to his head, and as you can see there, I think I've got it pretty much spot on. So I'm going to finish off this arm and then do the same on his left arm, and then we'll move on to the paint job on the body. Okay, I've decided to pull off the other arm, as you can see there. That way I can reposition them both evenly, and I've finished now with the skin tone to match the arms with the head, and I think I've got it as close as I'm probably going to get it, but I think it's pretty much a good match. So the final step for this coating is I'm going to leave the paint to dry, and then I will give it a wash over with some dark grey wash just to finish it off, to get it as close to the skin tone on the head sculpt as possible. Okay, now we're going to hot glue the arms back on where they've been painted, and to do that we're going to use little bits of balsa wood, and we're just going to build it up to the point where we want the arms to be slightly angled away from the body. That's one arm glued on. Now time to glue the other one on. Okay, that's the arms now glued in, and what we're going to do next is fill in the gaps. And the way we're going to do that is with some instant filler, good old instant filler that I use on pretty much all of my customs. I'm going to mix it with some Gorilla Glue. Okay, we're going to be using a clear DVD case for the Wolverine Claws, and what we're going to do is make a template out of card, draw around it onto the plastic and then cut them out. Okay, that's the 6 claws now cut out of the DVD case, and next I'm going to give it a coat with some metallic silver and then glue them onto the figured hands. Okay, that's the figure pretty much complete. Now I do get a lot of questions in the comments box asking what paints I use. I'm not going to show you me painting the figure because obviously that will ruin the final reveal, but the yellow on the figure itself I kept as is, the matte yellow. I thought that was a good effect, especially when I went over the blue with the metallic blue, enamel blue from Humbrol, and then on the belt I just used the gloss black, and then for the buckle I used the same metallic silver that I used on his claws. So also, as I showed you earlier in the video, I got this head off eBay from China. The sculpt on it is absolutely fantastic, and the detail even into the eyes is brilliant, but I thought it didn't really get, the facial expression wasn't what I wanted for the figure, so I went back onto eBay and found another one from China, and it does what I needed it to do. With the, it's got a different facial expression. I'm not going to show you the head sculpt that I bought just yet. I'm going to leave that for the final reveal, but I think you'll see that it was the right idea to buy the second one with a different facial expression. So as I mentioned, the figure is pretty much complete, and now we're going to move on to the custom base. Okay, this is going to be the Sentinel head that's going to sit in front of the Wolverine figurine, and the way I want it to look is if Wolverine's sliced across it with his claws and took the head clean off, and it's going to sit at an angle just on the ground in front of him. So how have I gone about making this? Well, this is a half circle foam from my local Hobbycraft, and it comes with two halves that's slot together. Obviously I've just used the one, and what I've done is wrap some card around it and using a mixture of Gorilla Glue and Gorilla Tape inside. As you can see there, I've attached the card, and I've also drew out the Sentinel's face, and what I'm going to do now using card is I'm going to build it up, i.e. the nose and the cheek plate on one side and what's left of the mouth. And then once it's complete, I'll give it a spray with some primer. I'm going to cut out two little holes there and have two little red LEDs poking through as if the light's still on.
Okay, unfortunately the battery died whilst I was making the cheek plate here, as you can see, but I've gone ahead and glued that on, and I've also been in with filler to fill in all the edges where the cardboard didn't quite meet. You can see there and there. The filler's cracked there, but I'm not too bothered because obviously it's just been, the effect I'm going for is it's just fallen to the ground, so it could have looked cracked. So I've also given it a spray with some primer, and the next stage is to go in and paint it.